Hey, babe.
Dada, I missed you already. Hug.
Oh, okay, get in here. Let me give that big hug. Ah. Hi.
Are you still on the plane?
No, I'm at my baddie apartment, remember?
Do all the guys have this?
What, this? This here? This itchy, scritchy, scratchy? Yeah,
You're so
scratchy,
perfect.
scratchy, How you doing? How was your day? Tell me.
Today was
What?
good and bad. Today at camp, I found a crazy bug. Emily said it was gross, but I picked it up. We found treasure and put it in my good pocket. Then when I came home, I hid it under my bed. My tooth hurt though. I had to sit with the camp nurse all day. It was so bad it was bleeding. Since it was vacation, we had a movie night. We watched Sleeping Beauty and built a bed on the sofa.
Well, where are we going?
Come inside.
Oh. Okay. Can't wait. 1 sec, all right? All right. Here I come.
Hi.
Can you die from a sore tooth?
No. You can't die from that. It just means that you're growing up. You're getting bigger and stronger. And when the tooth falls out, okay?
I don't want it to fall out.
No. Listen. When that tooth falls out, the tooth fairy's gonna come and she's gonna give you money for it.
The tooth?
Yeah, you've heard of the tooth fairy? The fairy that comes at night while you're asleep. And she takes your old tooth from under your pillow and she swaps it for money.
What did she do with the teeth? How did she even get into my room?
Well, okay, look. If you don't, she'll only come if you want her to come. And if you do, then here's what you gotta do, all right? You gotta put your old tooth under your pillow and then write her the sweetest note, okay?
It's like Santa, but for teeth.
Yes, exactly. It's like Santa, but for teeth. Hey, where's your mom? Will you go get her for me?
She's in the bathroom. I'll take you.
Take me anywhere.
Mama, it's Daddy! Here he is.
Hey. I miss you.
No, you miss the beach.
No. I miss you. Hey, what do you think of the new apartment?
Oh my god. Looks just like your place on Kinsey Street. You have that mattress on the floor. I was sure you were a serial killer.
I've upgraded to a futon.
Oh, well, the glamorous life of a super spy.
Yeah, except they neglected to mention all of the furniture assembly in Quantico. Left that part out. By the way, if you needed, say 17 Allen wrenches, I got them. So you just let me know.
Right.
How you doing? Tell me about your day.
Oh, well, I got Alba ready for camp. Made her a spectacular lunch. No PB&J, otherwise she has to sit at the peanut table. At work, I pulled a messy code blue back from the brink and administered a sub-Q insulin that my patient didn't even feel. Picked Alba up, made her dinner, soup, because her tooth hurts. And then we had to watch a Disney princess movie because Mama sent us the damn box set. Hey, can I call you back after Alba goes down?
Yeah.
It's late. I gotta get her in the bath. All right. Love you.
Love you. Hey,
How you feeling?
good. Yeah. I made contact today and bought some music. Did you know that Iggy Pop's named after his first band, the Iguanas? His real name's James.
You know it makes me cringe when you try and talk about music. Besides, you're off the clock now anyway. So you just watch.
Oh. Okay.
My name is Isabella.
Okay. Hello, Isabella.
I am a very rich and extremely horny woman. I hire young men and then I hold them captive and I hypnotize them.
You hypnotize?
Yes, I'm a mind vampire. That's how I made all my money. Now, you are...
I am David.
No, you are Alex. You are a business competitor of mine. I lured you to my castle, and now I'm going to have my way with you. Alex, are you sorry that you tried to mount an aggressive takeover of my business?
Oh, what are you gonna do?
Just terrible things. I'm gonna use you for my pleasure, and you only come when I say so.
Okay.
Now, take off your shirt. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Very nice. Now your pants.
Okay.
Slowly, slowly. Oh. Hi, sweetheart. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Come here. Sweetheart, I'm sorry. Hey, we're gonna have to take a rain check.
Is that Daddy?
Yeah.
Dad!
Oh, hi.
Hey, honey. Oh, look. Oh, that tooth is gonna fall out any day now. How you doing?
What do you say? You want me to put you to bed?
What? Can I sleep in bed with you?
Yeah, okay.
That's what we thought.
All right, come on, sweetheart. Under these covers. All right, I'm just gonna go put my PJs on. Here we go. There you
I had a nightmare about the tooth fairy. She was big and looked like Mima's cat, the bitey one.
Oh, really? Well, I mean, it was just a nightmare. That's all. Nothing to be scared about. Right? Are you brave?
Here I come. Right, say goodnight to Daddy.
Daddy can sleep with us, can't he?
Yeah, I'm right here.
All right. Close your eyes. There you go. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are.
all day in the ER.
Yeah, well, it's different when it's my kid. I've never pulled a tooth out before.
You just twist and pull.
Yeah, but it's easy for you to say you're 2,000 miles away. But you just be there for support. All right, here we go.
Okay.
Okay. All right, here we go. Oh my God, it's slippery. Shit. If she wakes up, she's gonna be terrified. Okay. Oh God, it wants to come out. Oh God, it's so small, it's hard to grab.
You got this. Come on.
I need smaller hands.
I've always thought that.
Shut up, I told you, don't talk. Oh, dang it. Oh, God. Okay, shh. Come here, babe. Okay. There we go. All right. Okay, this is it. Oh my God.
You got it. You got it.
I got it.
Show me. You got it. Show me.
Look. I got that little sucker.
Oh, good job, nurse. Ooh.
All right, you can go now.
Or we could pick up where we left off the other night. If I remember correctly, Isabella wanted to do some things to Alex.
Isabella wants to go to sleep. Maybe have a big glass of wine. Probably just go to sleep.
Okay. You sure you could hypnotize me?
Hun, I just pulled a tooth out of our sleeping daughter's mouth, and in about 6 hours I'm gonna have to wake up and go wait in the bathroom while she does a crap, because ever since you've been gone she started having that bathroom ghost nightmare again. When I'm in the mood, I'll let you know.
Okay.
Or I'll just put on some Justin Timberlake and have a nice visit with my Hitachi.
Now you remember you promised you'd only think of bearded men until I shave this off.
Oh, Father John Misty then.
You are such a sucker for the rock stars. I don't get it.
Yeah, well, I fell for you because you looked good in a suit. My vagina's superficial. Good night.
Hey, honey.
Hey.
You look, pissed.
I am pissed. You still in bed?
Yeah. It was a big night.
Well, Mama's here. She brought 2 suitcases. And she says she's here to help out.
What? Okay, why did you let her do that?
I didn't let her do anything. I told her she could visit, and she took that as an invitation to move in.
So how much is a ticket back to Texas?
You know that's not the way it works. You can't say no to Mama. With her here, I just feel everything feels off, like I'm not in control.
Well, Alba loves having me there, honey.
Look, I'm running the household by myself. My husband is essentially non-existent. I mean, this doesn't count. This isn't a real relationship. And I know that this is just the way it has to be, but God, with Mama here, I feel like I'm a teenager again.
She's there to help. She's an extra pair of hands.
David, you're not even listening. Mama, Jesus, knock.
Is that David?
No, I'm having a private conversation.
Let me talk to him. Hi, David.
Hey, Laura.
Look what they did to your handsome face. You look like Daniel did in the 70s.
Yeah, I heard you came to help my 2 girls, so I really appreciate that, Laura.
I do worry, David. While you're off growing your hair and saving the world, your wife here is raising her daughter all on her own and holding down a job.
Yeah, well, okay.
It's a lot to ask,
We both
David.
have important jobs, Laura. That's our life now, okay?
You don't know Emma like I do. She's not as tough as she thinks she is. You are such a good husband. You need to be here. Your daughter needs to feel like a part of a family.
Okay, Mama, could you go check on Alba in the bathroom, please?
Sure. Bye, David.
God. And she's right. That's what's so infuriating.
Hey. We can make this work.
I got this. It's fine. You go catch some bad guys.
Hey. You up late?
I can't sleep.
Yeah? Well, I am getting ready for a big thing tomorrow.
Well, don't let me stop you. Can I tell you about how hard my life is right now?
Yeah. Yeah, hit me. What's up?
It's not just her drinking. Mama's acting crazy. Not her usual crap. She's getting confused. Look, I talked to Stephen about it, and...
Stephen?
Yeah, the anesthesiologist. And he said that I might need to take her to see somebody, because at her age, it could be dementia. But she hates hospitals, you know. She's convinced that the doctors had it in for Papa, and that's why... Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm just blowing it all out of proportion. But...
Well, if you're really worried, then you should take her to see someone.
Look, I'm telling you, she won't go.
Okay, then tell her you're taking her for ice cream.
Okay, David, she's a grown woman. I'm not gonna trick her into going to the doctor. Yeah, and Alba's so happy to have her Mima here, and I guess if she really is sick, then it's better that she's here instead of on her own in Texas, you know?
Well, at least you have Stephen to confide in.
Screw you. You don't get to be jealous.
Hi there.
Hey.
So how's it going?
Great. Really great. How's your tofu?
You know, it's not the worst tofu I've had, actually, in the last few days.
Well, we have lots of turkey left over. I can put some in a box for you for when you make it home, whatever that might be. We've got mashed potatoes. We've got tons of pumpkin pie, but sorry, no more wine. We drank that.
I see 4 place settings, too.
Yeah, I had a girl from work come by.
Oh, nice.
She didn't have anyone. She loves cranberry sauce. Julie, the redhead.
Sorry I ruined Thanksgiving.
Ruined. Don't be dramatic. You know, Thanksgiving's something we really just do for Alba's benefit anyway. And all she really wants is her dada, so. Maybe Mike could send over another agent to take your place. You know, that could work for me too. You know, there's only so much you can do over the phone. Are agents allowed to screw on assignment?
We have rules.
Yeah, sure. Only fire your weapon if you intend to kill. Pew. Gotta love a clean shooting.
Emma, stop.
Alba wants to talk to you.
Hey,
Dad!
Hi, happy Thanksgiving.
I hate pumpkin pie.
What? What do you mean you ate pumpkin pie? Well, that's great, because that just means there's going to be more pumpkin pie for me.
I've been practicing for my recital.
You have?
Mama says she will give me $5 if I sing.
Wow. Well, guess what? I'll give you $5 too.
You going to be there?
Yeah, I wouldn't miss it for the world, kid.
Daddy, what's this?
What? No, Alba, that was very naughty. You don't do that to people when they're asleep.
Sweetie?
Alba.
Daniel, what are you doing there?
No, hi, Laura. It's David.
I thought you were at home. Did you step out?
No, I'm at work, remember? I'm sure Emma told you I'm going to be home in a few weeks for a short visit, though.
You don't look like you're at work.
Well, that's because my work doesn't look like normal work.
Christ, I'm
tired. I fell asleep waiting for you to come home.
No.
2 drinks, and I'm out like a light.
David.
Happy Thanksgiving, honey.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Wake me when you get in, okay?
Dada,
Hey, babe.
I can't sleep.
Why not?
I don't know, I just can't. Mama bought me a nightlight, but I don't like it.
Yeah, why not?
Because it's pink.
What? You don't like pink? Since when?
Since today.
Oh, okay.
Can you tell me a bedtime story?
Oh, babe, come on. All right. I'll read you a story if you promise to stop being so grumpy.
I promise. I'll get my princess book.
Okay. Well, no, it's...
Pick one.
No, it's okay, honey. I don't need the book. I know them all by heart now, okay? Listen, you have to close your eyes, though, okay? And you gotta start to sleep. It's really, really, really late here, okay?
Okay.
Okay, let's see. All right. Once upon a time, there were 2 young girls who lived on the edge of the woods with their mother. And one winter, they went into their garden and they found a bear, and the bear looked really ill. But the 2 girls, they couldn't bear to see him like that, so they took him into their house and they gave the bear some water and they gave him food, and they lit a really nice big warm fire in the fireplace that was in their room, and they even let the bear sleep in their bed, okay? But the next day, the bear was gone. And so...
I like this story.
You do? Okay, me too. All right, so later in the summer, the girls were sent into the woods to collect some berries. And in a clearing, they saw a small old man with a long white beard that was stuck in a tree trunk. His beard was stuck in the tree trunk. And he yelled to the girls, "Please come help me, pull me free, help me. And the girls, they tried to help him and they tugged at his beard, but they couldn't pull him free, try as they might. And as a last resort, though, they took out the knives they had and they cut the old man's white beard off, setting him free. But the ungrateful man is so furious at him because they cut his beard off, and he yells at him and he runs off into the woods. Mean old man. And then, a week later, they're in the forest again. This time they're collecting water. And as they're filling their pail at the river, they hear again the old man scream. He's stuck on a rock in the middle of the river. And he's surrounded by rapids, you know, he's just trapped in the river. And he yells at him, help me. And so they think quick, and they make a rope from their sashes out of their dresses, and then they throw it to the man, and when he grabs it, they pull him to the shore to safety. But the old man yells at him again because he's furious they got his clothes wet, and he screams at him and runs off into the woods. And then another week passes, and the girls are in the woods collecting firewood this time, and all of a sudden, they're surprised because that old man jumps out of the bush again. And he's screaming, help. He says, this bear, he's trying to kill me. This bear's trying to kill me. And out of the woods steps a bear, a big, huge bear. And he towers over the old man. And the old man, he points at the 2 girls and he says, kill them instead, he pleads. But the bear ignores the old man, and with one swipe of the bear's big paw, he kills him. And the very second the old man dies, the bear is transformed into a handsome prince. And the prince explains that the old man cast a spell on him a year ago after stealing his treasure, and
With the dwarf dead, the spell is broken, and soon after, Snow White marries the prince, and Rose Red marries his brother, and everyone lives happily ever after.
Oh, Jesus. David. You scared me.
Watching her sleep.
Well, that's sweet.
You okay?
Sure. You know, they don't pay anesthesiologists the big bucks to put people to sleep. It's because they can wake them up again afterwards. I just broke things off with him because I felt bad lying to him. But screwing him, that felt like breaking a spell. David, why don't you just tell me what you've been doing?
Well, I haven't
over
been
there?
sleeping with anybody.
You're lying.
No, I am a special
You're a
agent of the
professional
Federal Bureau of
liar.
Investigation.
It's literally your
No,
jacket,
just
and I
stop
trained
it.
you how to
Stop
lie.
it. I protect people. I protect people.
Hey, babe.
Dada!
You doing okay?
Mimon's very sick. I tried to go in her special bed, but Mommy yelled at me.
Yeah. Things are a little hard right now, honey, so we just have to be strong for Mama, you know?
That's what the doctor said. Are you gonna tell me a bedtime story?
Okay, sure. You want one from your book, or?
I'm bored my book now. Make one up.
Oh, okay. I'll just, all right. Do you know the story of Rumpelstiltskin?
Rumpelstiltskin?
Mm-hmm.
No, can I hear it?
Okay, sure, yeah. All right, let me see if I can remember it. Okay, well, once upon a time, there was a girl. And she was the daughter of a miller, I think, which is a kind of farmer. And she had the most beautiful blonde hair. It was so beautiful, it caught the sun like it was gold. It was so beautiful.
Not a princess?
Well, maybe she becomes one. Just wait and see. All right. So, her father, he liked to tell tall tales. Okay? And one day he boasted to the king that his daughter was so talented that she could spin straw into pure gold. All right? And the king, he called him out on his bluff, and he summoned the girl, and he said that if she could truly make gold from straw, then he would allow her to marry his son, the prince. But if not, he'd chop off her head.
Her head?
Yeah, because he's a very severe king.
And does she want to marry his son?
Well, I mean, then she'll be a queen, and in the old days, most of the girls wanted to marry a prince, right?
I don't want to get married to anybody.
I like that. Anyway, the king, he locks the girl in a tower with a spinning wheel and a small pile of straw. And he says he's going to return in the morning, all right, to see if she has made the straw into gold. And the night passes, and in the morning, she's given up all hope, right? When all of a sudden, a little small strange man appears, okay? And he asks her if she has any wishes, and she says she wishes to turn the straw into gold, right? And so the imp says he can do such a thing, but first she must give him her necklace. So the girl gives up her necklace, of course, and the imp, he sits at this spinning wheel, and he starts to spin, and he spins, and he spins, and he spins, and he produces this pile of golden thread. And then there's this knock at the door, right? Because it's morning, and he just disappears, and the king comes in, and there's this small
pile of gold, and he is amazed. The king is so amazed, but he's suspicious because he thinks this might be a fluke. You know what I mean? So he moves her to a second tower with an even bigger pile of straw. And again, same challenge. Spin the straw into gold by morning or off with your head. So the girl waits and waits all night long, and then again, just before dawn, that little imp appears. Okay, and this time he demands her ring. So she, of course, she gives him a ring, and he spins the gold into straw, and then he disappears, and the king comes in, and there's this pile of gold, and the king is almost convinced. But for a final time, he throws her in a third tower with a huge pile of straw, and he says, you gotta turn this straw into gold, and he leaves. And yet again, just before dawn, that imp appears. But the girl, she doesn't have any jewelry left. Right? So what is she going to do? And the imp says, if you give me your firstborn child, I'll turn this straw into gold. And the girl, she's so terrified that she says, yes, of course, of course. And the imp, he spins the entire huge pile of straw into gold. And right before the king walks in, he disappears, and the king opens up the door, and he's so excited, he can't believe it. He says, truly, you are magical, he says. That's his voice. And then the very next day, the girl, she's married to the prince, right? And despite all the weirdness of this marriage, they actually really like each other. In fact, they fall in love. And 2 years later, that little girl, now a princess, is pregnant.
My teacher is pregnant. She last touched her bump. I asked where she got it, and she said, mind my own business.
Okay. Thank you for that. Now, in the summer, she gives birth to this beautiful baby daughter. Okay, but her happiness about this new little girl, it's short-lived, because guess who comes back? The imp. The imp reappears, and he says, I've come to collect my reward, he says. And the baby is mine. And the princess, she sobs, and she offers him like all the riches in the kingdom. But he insists. He says, I want that baby. And she begs him, please, to. And finally, the imp says, okay. If you can guess my name within 3 days, you can keep the baby. But if not, the baby is mine, as we agreed. And he leaves, and the princess, she is distraught. I mean, she immediately sends all of her staff and her servants out into the kingdom to figure out this little imp's name. But by midnight of that first day, no one's been able to track down anything, or the creature, or his name. And the imp, he appears, and he asks her, what is my name? And she guesses, is it David? And he laughs. He says, no, 2 more guesses. And he leaves. And the next day, nothing. Nobody comes back with any information. And he arrives again at midnight. And she guesses this time.
Steven!
No, it's not. He says, no. Laughs the imp, okay? He says, no. And he leaves. It's not Steven. And the next day, the princess is so upset because she doesn't know what to do. She only has 1 more guess, 1 more day. And so she leaves the baby with her servants, and she just walks into the forest because she's so worried she's gonna lose her baby. And she wanders and wanders all day, and into the evening, she wanders, and suddenly she comes on a small clearing, okay? And a little field, and in that little field is a little tent, and in the center of it, there is a little small fire, and she hides. She hides behind a bush. And out of the tent, to her amazement, out comes the imp. And he's dancing around the fire, right? And he sings, today, plans I make. Tonight, the baby I take. The princess will never win the game, for Rumpelstiltskin is my name. And smiling to herself, the princess runs back to the castle because she heard his name. And that evening, the imp arrives, right? And he's kind of gloating, and he asks her his name. And the princess kind of looks sad, she's kind of pretending to be sad, and she gnashes her teeth a little bit. But then she looks him in the eye and she says, "Your name's Rumpelstiltskin." And the imp, his eyes bulge, and he looks like he's gonna burst, and his head goes, red. He shakes it like he's gonna explode, and all of a sudden it's...
Does he explode?
Oh, do you think he should?
No, he should just go away and never come back.
Okay, well, then Rumpelstiltskin ran away and he never came back. And the princess became queen, and her daughter grew up to be a wonderful queen in her own right, and everyone lived happily ever after.
That was a good story.
Yeah?
I guess being queen would be good.
Yeah.
What do you think the imp was going to do with the baby? Was he going to eat it?
That's a good question. I don't know, maybe he was lonely.
What did the story mean?
It's just a story.
At school, we have to write the author's message for every story.
You do?
Was Rumpelstiltskin the bad guy?
I guess. Now that you mention it, most of the people in the story were bad.
If I was queen, I would chop off their head.
You would?
I'm tired.
Okay.
Will you stay with me?
Well, honey, I have to go out, I'm afraid, so. But yeah, you got your glowworm, right?
Yes, she's called Glowy.
Oh, I love that name. That's a great name. All right, come here. Give me a kiss, real quick. Love you, kid. Night, night.
Night, night. Dada, I miss you.
Miss you too, babe.
I'm very tired. Can I have a bedtime story?
Sure.
Can you tell me Rasputin again?
Rasputin? Oh, you mean Rumpelstiltskin?
Yes, that one.
Okay. Is Mama still there?
No, she went to her room.
Okay. I guess I'll speak to her later. Okay. So, once upon a time, there was a girl who had long, long blonde hair that people said looked like gold.
Can we give her a name?
Yeah, sure, why not? There was a girl called...
Emma, like Mama.
Okay, so Emma, she has long blonde hair, and she really wants to marry the prince. But she's just a farmer's daughter, right? Well, one day the king comes riding through her village to water his horses, and she hears about it, and so she urges her father to go to the king and boast about his daughter and her long, beautiful hair. And while he's doing that, she quickly throws on some of her best jewelry, but when her father stands before the king, he gets really nervous and he misspeaks, and he tells the king that his daughter can spin straw into gold. And the king is intrigued. He asks the girl to confirm, is this true? Can you spin straw to gold? But she wants to win the king's favor, so Emma says, yes, I can spin gold from straw. But the king's no fool. So he decides to call her bluff, and he proposes a challenge. If you can turn straw into gold, you may marry my son, the prince. But if not, you will be exiled, which means kicked out. Well, Emma, she's unable to refuse such an offer, so she accepts. And the king takes her to his castle, and he locks her into one of his towers. And there in the tower room is a spinning wheel with a large pile of straw. And he says he'll return in the morning to see if she can actually spin this straw into gold. Well, Emma, she spends all night trying to think of some excuse or, clever way to get out of this situation. But as dawn approaches, nothing. She really starts to worry. And that is when a strange man appears. And he asks her if she has a wish. And she says, I wish to turn this straw into gold. And he says, I can do that, but you must give me your necklace. Well, the girl quickly takes off her necklace, and the imp sits at the spinning wheel, and he starts to spin and spin, and he spins all of the straw into a large pile of golden thread. And then there's a knock at the door, and the imp disappears, and the king comes in, and he sees the small pile of gold, and he's amazed. But he's a little suspicious. So he moves the girl to a second tower. And this time there's a much larger pile of straw. Okay, and again, it's the same challenge. You spin that straw into gold, marry the prince. If not, you're kicked out of the kingdom. And yet again, just by morning, the girl, she waits, and again, there's nothing. She can't do it. But right then, that imp appears again. And this time he asks for her ring. And so she gives him her ring. He sits down, he spins that much larger pile of straw into gold, and boom, disappears right at dawn, right before the king walks in, and he sees this larger pile of gold, and he's almost convinced. But for a final time, the king moves that girl to a third tower where there is a huge pile of straw. And he locks the door again. And yet again, just before dawn, that imp appears. But this time, the girl, she doesn't have any jewelry to give him. What can she do? Well, the imp, he smiles and he tells her that if she will give him her firstborn child, then he will spin the straw into gold. Well, Emma, she has no option but to say yes. So the imp, he sits at the spinning wheel and he spins that huge pile of straw into golden thread. And he disappears right before dawn, and the king walks in and he opens the door, and the king is amazed. He says, I thought you were lying, but you are for real. And the very next day, the girl is married to the prince. And on her wedding day, she smiles wider than she's ever smiled before. And her hair shines like gold itself. And a year later, Princess Emma gives birth to a beautiful baby girl. And later that week, she's putting that little baby into a cot when suddenly that little man appears again, that imp, and he says, I have come for what is mine, the baby. And the princess, she begs and begs, and please, no, don't take my baby, I'll give you anything. She offers him all the riches in the kingdom. She offers him everything, but he refuses. So she gets on her knees and she pleads, please, please, I'll give you anything. And she says, okay, if you can guess my name, I will not take your baby. But if you cannot, the baby is mine. I will give you 3 guesses. And then he disappears. And the princess, she's terrified. So she calls in all of her staff and all the spies and the soldiers or anyone who has a horse to go and scour the kingdom to figure out this little imp's name. And the next day, the first spy returns and he tells her...
Daniel, like Mama's papa.
Oh, okay, sure. Okay, Daniel. So the imp appears and he asks if she has a guess, and she says, Daniel? But the imp laughs. Wrong! 2 more guesses. And he disappears. And the very next day, another spy returns. But this time he says that he's heard villagers talking about a strange man who lives in the mountains.
Rumpelstiltskin.
No, honey. That would end the story too soon. You know, a little
I'm getting tired.
Ah, okay, all right. Well, okay, in that case, the spy returns and says Rumpelstiltskin is this strange man's name, and the princess waits in her room, and at midnight the imp arrives, and he says, now your second guess, and he cackles, and he's gonna rub it in his hands, and the princess smiles and looks him in the eye, and she says, Rumpelstiltskin. And the imp is amazed. I mean, he's so surprised that he faints, like, right in front of her, and Emma has him arrested and thrown in the deepest, darkest dungeon, and she lives happily ever after, and
that was a good story, but I am very sleepy now.
Okay. Good night. I love you.
I love you too, Dada.
Hey,